Hello and welcome to this lecture, which I title, What Scorpion Will Do for You. Scorpion is a Microsoft Windows-based desktop and laptop security product developed in collaboration with the National Institute for Standards and Technology, NIST, the United States Air Force, USAF, the Department of Homeland Security, DOHS, the National Security Administration, NSA, Microsoft, and Scorpion Systems Protection. Scorpion is based on the security standards compiled and released, yet unclassified, by the NIST. The standards comprise, which has been designated as the United States Government Computer Baseline, USGCB, formerly known as the Federal Desktop Core Configuration, or FDCC, and these settings, by a presidential act by President Obama, have been made mandatory for any computer that interacts with any part of the U.S. federal network system. The USCGB and the FDCC standards, however, have not been fully utilized either in government offices or in the private sector, partially due to its complexity to understand and difficulty to implement. The NIST releases, unclassified, Micro's Windows operating system settings recommendations in 1,000-page technical manuals that can challenge the most astute Windows administrators and engineers. There is also no impetus from the antivirus software manufacturers to promote the US GCB because the settings are not a product that is subscription-based. Once installed, the settings block the designed Windows interoperability holes that antiviral companies consider normal conditions. Scorpion Protection is anti-hacking software, not antivirus software. There are no ads, no pop-ups, or updates. Scorpion, with permission from the NIST, has studied and tested these guides in detail against real-world computing scenarios and have packaged the NIST recommended settings into a simple one-click installation that brings Windows operating systems up to the US GCB standard without breaking typical home, office, and school environments, such as availability of wireless printing, for instance, which will still work. Below are some general hacking threats that Scorpion helps to protect your system against. By and large, antivirus software, on the other hand, will not protect you against threats such as these. So some general threat cases. First would be remote assistance. Starting in Windows 7, Scorpion disables the Offer Remote Assistance feature. This is to prevent computer users from accepting unsolicited remote assistance offers from malicious users. If there is a help desk in place or you have a tech that uses remote assistance, the settings can always be manually turned back on, but neither we nor the NIST believes that it should be left enabled by default. Scorpion also turns on remote assistance logging just for an added layer of protection. If the setting ever does get turned back on, you will at least have a record of the times, dates, and remote connection IDs of whoever is or has connected to your computer. Remote desktop services. In addition, Scorpion forces and raises the level of encryption used for remote desktop services, or RDS, to 128-bit to lower the risk of an attacker intercepting and decrypting RDS-generated network traffic, if you or your tech staff do enable remote connections for troubleshooting or maintenance work. Scorpion also goes so far as to forcibly delete any temporary files created during remote sessions that may contain useful data for an attack in a multi-user environment or network, or if someone gains physical access to your PC. This measure eliminates the risk of the unauthorized user viewing sensitive cached data stored in another user's temporary folders. Account logon tips. Scorpion changes account lockout settings and limits the number of successive tries after an incorrect logon password. This means that brute force system and user password attacks are rendered almost useless. When the system receives 3 wrong passwords, it will lock out any further attempts for 15 minutes. That means if you find your forgotten password, you can still get back in, but a hacker usually needs to try millions of combinations before they gain access. And Scorpion just made that take a whole lot longer. In fact, tens of millions of years longer. Disable Internet Open With. Scorpion disables Internet Open with dialog boxes when a file association is not found. This prevents Windows from searching the web for a program to open an unknown file. This type of methodology has all sorts of unknown implications and is a near-perfect delivery system for tons of malicious content, both through the unrecognized file and a service that would find whatever program the extension requires and try to allow a connection. Authenticated remote procedure calls. The Scorpion system changes require that any remote procedure calls to the operating system are authenticated before they can occur. So what does this mean? Well, let's break it down. It means that contact with calls to a program like Skype, for example, a service like printing, a routine, or procedure to be technically correct that might be running, or any other of the many tasks that your computer may be doing or waiting to do from a remote source, must first be authenticated. Simply put, anything that tries to connect to a program must have permission to use the program running on your PC. Disable data execution for Explorer. Scorpion turns this off to ensure that data execution prevention is able to block certain techniques used by malicious software. Data execution for Explorer is pretty much what it sounds like. An unknown program or application or service is going to run when you start to do something in Explorer. The vast majority of off-the-shelf and name-brand software does not require Explorer to launch a hidden program. Malicious, user-installed toolbar ads, coupons, or search programs, etc. will encounter some difficulty if their data is not allowed to execute. Success and failure audit credential validation. Audit data provides information that may be needed in order to determine the root cause of a security incident. Audit data can also help to resolve various types of system and application configuration issues, such as incorrect permissions within the registry. Scorpion tracks both successful and failed attempts at credential validation. We want to know who logged on and who tried to but couldn't. We also record things like if there were any added users or if anything in the management of the system or the system security has changed. Scorpion's system protection is always on the hunt, protecting your systems. Disable network bridges. Scorpion software prohibits the installation and configuration of a network bridge on your DNS, domain name service, network. This means that if a malicious user did connect to your business network, they would not be able to use their connection as a bridge to another network. They might be in, but they cannot share your network, yes, probably your entire network, out to whomever is on the dark side of theirs. And it could be everybody you don't want. A hacker can, within minutes of accessing your network, create a portal on a website on the dark web that allows all manner of persons from around the world to have free and clear access. Once an event like that happens, there is only one recourse. You have to completely dismantle and rebuild and rename your entire network and scrub every computer in it with fresh Windows installs. Not one single system can remain as it is after the attack. Auditing. Scorpion under NIST guidelines turns on system auditing for logons and logoffs, including failed attempts, special logons that an application or a remote user might register, file system failures, Windows registry changes, audit policy changes, authentication policy changes, sensitive privilege use, security system extensions, and security state changes. Log sizes are increased without noticeably affecting storage size and have enough collected data that there will be a comprehensive record of any attack or intrusion. Scorpion even logs dropped IP packets at the Windows firewall to see who may be targeting your systems. Disable IP source routing, packet spoofing. IP source routing is disabled to prevent attacks from obscuring the location and address of their computer via source routing. A hacker will find out an IP network address on your corporate or even Soho network and will spoof their IP address to match or get really close. Then they will attempt to join your network by this spoofed address, which is now trying to masquerade as one of your network computers. With Scorpion system protection, this threat is completely eliminated because with Scorpion, all incoming source-routed IPv4 packets are ignored, thereby shutting down this very common threat. Scorpion is the highest and only IP source routing level protection available. Windows Firewall. Scorpion turns on Windows Firewall and configures it to display a notification when a program is blocked from receiving inbound connections through the firewall. This is to alert the user of applications that attempt to open inbound network ports. This means that a hidden program that is trying to manipulate Windows Firewall into letting an unauthorized outside entity connect back to the program will be blocked. Scorpion also blocks unicast responses to minimize the risk of an attacker using broadcast or multicast traffic to deliver malicious payloads, and it records all inbound connections. These are just some of the more common and somewhat recognizable vulnerabilities that Scorpion solves. By turning off rarely used features, by forcing authentication of outside sources whenever possible, and by enabling comprehensive audits in key areas, Scorpion system protection is always watching, always on guard, and always protecting. Coupled with a good up-to-date antiviral program, Scorpion offers the most complete Windows operating system protection possible. Scorpion is your first and last line of defense. That's all for this lecture. Bye for now.